Hi, I'm Jamie from Sci-fi-vision. Thanks so much for talking to me. I appreciate it. I very much liked it. I watched all of them yesterday and stayed up till 4:30. I
Wow.
was a little upset they didn't send all of them.
I'm upset too now. I feel like we should get you the last. I mean, now it's like you've earned it.
You put in your time to
All
share.
night?
Yeah, I want to know what happens, Daggett. So for each of you, what was it that drew you to it? That was, the thing that you liked the most. We'll just go Amy, then Warren, then Emily.
I had so many questions and I wanted to be able to be part of finding out the answers before anyone else without having to see it on TV. So the whole world that was created in the pilot and these characters and this building, it was like I wanted to live there in real life, and I wanted to there's just so many juicy things and so many different ways that it could go. And so it was exciting to kind of be on the ground floor and get to watch the Greyborn be built, and all the stuff that came along with that.
All right, Warren.
How you doing, Jamie?
Hi.
It's similar to what Amy said. It's, you click when you read something, you click with a character. You're like, okay, I'd like to think I could bring something to this, and you like the story. But at the end of the day, to be able to take a step back as a viewer and be like, oh man, there's so many avenues to go with this thing. There's so many places to go. That I think gets exciting, because sometimes you do a pilot and it's you're really kind of cornered in. There's not a ton of spots, but there was so much potential here and so many twists and turns. And I think everybody's going to tune in and see it through eyes that are mistrusting. And we want that. We need that, right? So you're going to watch someone, but you're always going to have a little feeling of like, I don't know about them. And I think that'll be exciting. And especially with the twists and turns we have that come along, makes for great storytelling. And I think that's what we just all kind of hope for.
Emily, what about you?
I loved the idea of, mostly the first thing I was drawn to was the building, the idea of writing about a world that's set inside of this, what appears to be a castle, but that turns out to be a bit of a prison in a way of, or a maze of lies, and this gorgeous, sort of like confection of archways and marble and everything, but underneath it is this scary basement, which just felt like a great, allegory for like the American dream, where it's like, oh, it looks really beautiful, but underneath is all this like toil and pain and secrets and mysteries and things like that. And I thought, I just, I love world building, and I love building a puzzle and a mystery and leaving trails of pebbles so that you can get back to the idea that you had before. And I'd never really done anything like this before, so I was excited by the challenge of that.
Great. Now, Amy, I want to talk about your costumes. You get quite a few awesome outfits, especially the dress at the gala. Can you talk a bit about that? And did you get to keep anything?
That's my other. Probably no, I didn't. But yeah, that probably that should have been my answer to the first question. Is I was like, oh, this girl's gonna get to wear really good costumes. Yeah, we had a great costume designer, and she really found things that we actually kind of struggled at the beginning figuring out who Tori was going to be, and we went through some different looks, and ultimately I felt like she just came in with ideas that were so perfect and really made me, it was just like every time I put those clothes on, it was so not who I am and not how I would dress, that it just gave me a sense of feeling like I was the character. And it was so helpful for my performance. All of the production design was like that. The details on the sets and everything was just so specific and so thought out and so perfect that it really did a lot of the work for us.
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful show. So Warren, with your character, what did you find the most difficult connecting to character-wise? Was there anything?
Difficult to connect to. Well, I'm a father, so I mean that part of it is it was pretty easy. I would say the most difficult thing is, and I happen to be very fortunate, is that I haven't lost a lot of people in my life. So how does that look as a single father? How does that look as somebody who is in this crazy uber rich world, but it's really not of it, right? He wasn't born into it, he married into it. So how do we toe the line between who he is and who he's not? And it actually goes to Amy's thing a little bit, how he dressed. I mean, he could have been in all of the greatest stuff, but he was a little more casual and down to earth because of who he was. So I would say trying to figure out how a person in that scenario would deal with grief. And I've said a few times today, I always figured that he quietly dealt with it alone, and he would wake up in the morning, take this big breath, and then get dressed and be like, I have to go put on this mask for my son. Like I have to help my son heal. So it was kind of finding the little nuances, and then finding within that the moments to show the cracks in the mask so that we understand he's not really all right all the time. He's not doing great. And that's why I think he finds Elena to be such a breath of fresh air, because suddenly she has this effect that he sees on Jasper, his son, and he's like, maybe this is it. Maybe we're finally going to start moving forward. And so it's finding the little nuances within there that I think was probably, I don't know if I'd say the most difficult, but something I really felt was incredibly important and hope to find.
Makes sense. And you made me wonder, as you said that, Amy, do you feel that your character at all changed because of Elena? Because obviously she does not, for the most part, take anything she says to heart, but I feel like maybe a little bit of it got through. Is there any way that you feel like that?
No, I think she's she does have an effect on her, and maybe you learn more as the season progresses just how much of that is true. And I love their relationship, just that it starts out from this place of total mistrust and pretty much just like coming from both angles. And every time there was a little moment where it was like, oh wait, they're connecting, or oh, there's this, and then it would go back, and it was like these little, like, one step forward, two steps back with them. And it was, I mean, Marielle she's just such a star, and she was everyone wanted to be in scenes with her. You wanted her to be on set, you wanted to hang out with her off set. She's just like the cool girl that you all want to be. So it was, the hardest part was having to pretend I didn't like her, though that gave us lots of laughs.
I'm sure. All right. Well, thank you, all of you. I appreciate it. Like I said, I really liked it. I'm excited to see what happens. So.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you to see it too. I feel like I'm so blown away that you stayed up to watch the whole thing.
I did. Probably shouldn't have, but I did.
That is the dream for us. Like that's what we hope for.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good afternoon. Evening. It's evening now. Bye.